Hello, everyone. My name is Yaxing Yao. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Information Systems at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Today, I'll talk about our research on informing the design of privacy awareness mechanisms in smart homes from users and bystanders' perspective. We have been seeing lots of news headlines related to people's privacy concerns and the privacy risks associated with smart home devices. One of the main issues that users have to deal with is that there are very limited ways for them to learn about data practices of smart home devices. However, what makes things worse is that the data collection in smart homes does not stop at the users, because in a smart home setting, there are more people involved. For example, in a dorm, your roommate's smart speaker may record your voice. UPS driver may be recorded by the security camera without their awareness. Or when you are invited to your friend's place for a birthday party, your data might be collected by your friend's smart devices, maybe without your awareness. In these cases, it is also very difficult for people to learn about their data practices. We call these people bystanders. In our research, we focused on both users and bystanders. To make it clear, we define smart home users as those who own smart home devices and bystanders as those who do not own smart home devices, but may be subject to the data collection by smart home devices. Prior research, including some of our own research, has demonstrated that bystanders do have privacy needs, but sometimes those needs conflict with the needs of the users. For example, bystanders may want the device to be off to stop data collection, while users may want to keep the device running for security reasons. However, prior work does not address one of the fundamental privacy issues. That is, how do we make sure users and bystanders are aware of the data practices of smart home devices in the first place? How do we notify them? So in our research, we aim to look at this particular issue in depth. In this talk, we focus on the first question on the screen. We proposed the concept of 4 privacy awareness mechanisms and some prototypes, and conducted a survey study to see how people react to them. I'll skip the methodology details in this talk. You can find those details in our CHI 22 paper. Instead, I'll talk about some of the findings, in particular, the perceived benefits and drawbacks of 4 privacy awareness mechanisms from users and bystanders' perspectives. More results about the scenario-based comparisons and some other stuff can be found in the paper. So we propose the 4 privacy awareness mechanisms. The first mechanism is a privacy dashboard, which includes details of the data practice of all smart home devices connected in a smart home. This is inspired by smart hubs, which enable centralized control for all smart devices connected to in a home. It is also inspired by existing smart home network monitoring tools, such as the IoT Inspector, which allows people to obtain information regarding the data flows from all devices connected to a Wi-Fi network. In terms of pros and cons, both users and bystanders believe that a dashboard like this would be able to provide detailed information in a centralized location. However, both users and bystanders would like to have control beyond just notice. Another drawback, as stated by the bystander, is that to use the dashboard as bystanders, they will basically need to use other people's device in their home. Even in some cases, this is not a big issue, but in most cases, it violates the social norms and can be very awkward. The next mechanism is an app. This is a very similar idea as the dashboard, but in the format of an app. In our study setting, to use it, users need to connect it to a Wi-Fi network, and the app will scan all devices in the network. Participants found the app to be very easy to use, as they can access it from their phone, which also helps to reduce the social awkwardness. It also provides detailed information. However, some users thought that the app might have some security concerns, since bystanders would need to connect to the user's home network and scan all connected devices at the user's home. And at the same time, some bystanders believe that this is an invasion to the user's privacy. For the third and fourth mechanisms, we aim to explore something different. Since we're talking about the Internet of Things devices things in the home setting, so why don't we utilize the concept of the things? So we came up with the idea of an ambient light. So the ambient light is a smart bulb-based product that provides users with signals regarding the data collection and sharing in their smart home by changing its color. So this is inspired by the visual cues that are currently available on smart home devices, such as the LED status indicators on smart security cameras and the LED light circle on Amazon Echo. We ask ourselves, why don't we use the visual cues for privacy-related notifications? In this case, we use the green light to represent encrypted traffic, yellow light to represent the regular traffic, and red light to represent tracking traffic. This is to replica the colors of the traffic light on the street. Before I talk about the pros and cons, I'd like to show a quick demo. So in terms of the pros and cons, both users and bystanders believe that this is an easy to understand mechanism. It also provides an unobtrusive notification experience in certain cases, such as when you are watching a movie with your kids and you don't really want to be interrupted. At the same time, both users and bystanders believe that the light is not as informative. And to some bystanders, the light, especially the red light, might cause some psychological burden. This is because when you are in other people's place and does not really know what to expect, then suddenly the room turns red, then it can be a little scary. Similarly, our fourth mechanism, instead of using the light, we use audio cues to notify users about data practices of smart home devices. So the inspiration for the privacy speaker comes from Amazon Echo, which uses audio as a modality to give out package delivery notifications. In our prototype, we have three types of sound. A pleasant chime sound means encrypted traffic. A single beep sound means regular traffic, and a scary buzz sound indicates traffic to ads or tracking servers. Similarly, I like to show a demo here. Okay, so in terms of the pros and cons, both users and bystanders believe that the speaker is effortless and the active notification helps to reduce social confrontation. However, similar to the light, the sound is not informative and sometimes can be annoying or even intimidating. One interesting comparison between users and bystanders' preference is that users tend to prioritize device utility over privacy protection, while bystanders tend to consider social factors such as social relationships and power dynamics while making decisions to protect their privacy. This is important because it tells us that when designing privacy awareness mechanisms for smart homes, there is not a silver bullet that works for every scenario, since users and bystanders have different priorities. Researchers and practitioners need to evaluate the specific needs and tension based on the specific context. We have more discussion on this result in the paper, so if you're interested, please check out the paper. Based on the findings, we summarize the four implications for practitioners when designing privacy awareness mechanisms for smart homes. So first, privacy notification mechanisms should provide easy and equal access for both users and bystanders. In some cases, they should also consider an unobtrusive modality to deliver privacy notice for users and bystanders, especially for those who prefer to learn about data practices in the background at the time when they occur. Third, existing privacy notice and are device specific only. We found that people are eager to know about data practices as a centralized source from all the devices connected in the smart home. So privacy notice at the smart home level can be a good direction, but it definitely requires more research. Lastly, it is very important to provide not only privacy notice, but also choice, especially for bystanders who are in a less advantageous position to take actions. With that, I'll conclude the talk. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome any questions.